It's the champagne pouring, big joint going, bomb bass sipping, no blunt smoking, bad bitch getting thick and she got some. Okay. Shh. Stop talking about what your stuff does and start showing what it does. This is what we did in over ears, and it cleaned up the thread completely because people can't argue with videos. So I can't show you what an IEM does, but I can show you what it can do. So that's an iFi micro IDSD in turbo mode, 4,000 milliwatts max. I don't know what that would be continuously. This is 1500 max input, so I'm going over its threshold, but I've done it 20-30 times already. So you just saw the bass. You just saw it, right? I mean, you saw that, right? Take them out, pour shots of liquor, drinking out the bottle, smiling in all my pictures. Marijuana now, some calls follow my Twitter. Nigga, you know anybody with an amp and who's a bass head knows how hard that is, who's ever tried this. So turn the volume down a little bit. Don't touch nothing else. No switches, nothing. Unjack the SC. EX800 STs. Plug them in. This is what fucked my ears up yesterday big time. Worst thing I ever did since I got into personal audio was this yesterday. So now these are going through the EX800 STs. iFi. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's enough of that. These are not blown. These will handle it. Nothing else will. Not even close. I don't wreck anybody doing that because you'll damage your gear. So I'm out of there. If you really are based, you really ought to get this amp, just because it's going to give you the headroom to do what I just showed you. Your amp won't do what I just showed you to a piece of paper. You can max it out. That was 50%. I could EQ more cleverly. I just had the inspiration to do this suddenly because I got this little shh thing going on in my brain because people keep talking about stuff, but they're not showing nothing. I just showed you a EX800 ST taking an amount of energy that'll drive the #1 rated bass output headphone on for 2 years on Head-Fi, and people don't argue with that. They'll talk about a veil and other stuff, but they're going to argue with the bass that comes out of it because they go home and they put a piece of paper like this. It's just a fucking piece of paper, man. Half an A4. And they do that, and they don't get anything close to what I just showed you because their drivers can't do it. And that's not because they can't do something, that's because the gear can't. Oh well, I mean, it's not like it's a reflection of the person who's trying to do the thing. Turn that off. It's just gear. This is all about the gear. This will do it, and nothing else will. So on a pure bass level, and since it's a bass list, on a pure bass level, the amount of volume and power that you can put into it, it's #1. I'm not going to argue with that until someone else comes on with a set with the same amp. She demonstrates that it can do the same thing because they got an SZ or something that can demonstrate some power output, and then without touching anything, switch it out with a set of IEM. You're going to blow a lot of stuff. So if you got something expensive or custom, you better be careful. You'll mess it up. These are cheap enough. If I blew them, I'd be okay. What happened yesterday to me is I didn't blow these. I pretty much blew my ears. Fucking stupid. Very, very stupid. The message here is that my shh thing, and show me your thing. I said everybody give me lists, and that's trying to be community oriented, but People are going to have their fanboys coming in, psychophants, you know, I like your list, or who gives a shit what you like, man. Add to the community or don't. And if someone says, you know, prove it to me, then prove it. Or step back. Step back into the crowd that contains everybody else, what I call the regular people, and don't speak like a special person, because the special person takes time out of the data to show you something. Could you hear the bass out of this? No. Did you see me plug it into a i5 IDSD micro in turbo mode? I did that. I showed you what it was doing with this, and then I pulled it out, turned the volume down a little, of course, and then I plugged the IEMs and turned it back up a little, put it in my ears, and I'm done blowing my ears, man. These will blow my ears. These will blow my ears before they blow. What has more bass than that? You never know, because your ears will never be able to take it. So I set these comfortably on number 1, because I don't have anything else that'll do this. And I'm not going to do it anymore because I don't want to be deaf when I'm older. And I think I hurt myself yesterday. You know, with this, a lot of the energy is coming through the pads, by the way they EQ it. But when you got something that's sticking directly in your ear, it's in your ear, man. There's no escape. Everything's just blasting into your ear. And yesterday I was so pissed because I got wrapped up with what people who I'll never meet think about something that's a piece of plastic and metal and gear, and who gives a shit. But I did for like an hour, and I thought, these motherfuckers, god damn it. And I started, you know, putting stuff, and I switched this thing in turbo mode, plugged it in, and just started cranking shit. And it was not this track, it was actually Slamming Cadillac Doors, Baby D, and just blew it and my ears, and was listening to it, thought, this is fucking amazing, holy shit. And then I started getting this feeling like queasy, pulled them out of my ears, and then I couldn't hear for a few seconds, and then the ringing, and I still got a little bit of ringing today. That's how fucked up that was yesterday. And I can thank the EX800s for doing that, because it's the only ones that'll do that. The 1000s would never do that. The Z5s, I don't think so, but the 800 STs will. So that's the way it is. I prefer people proved stuff, and if you can't, then don't be offended if I don't take it seriously, because I've been doing this for a long time. These videos right here were a couple of years ago, man. And I move into IEMs, and I'm suddenly less of a bass head. Are you guys stoned? I'm the guy that wants everybody to prove something, and nobody ever shows me nothing. Everybody just tells me stuff. That's what they used to do in the over years. They used to tell me stuff. Lots of people tell me stuff, and it don't mean I believe them. Does that mean that you're not telling the truth? You know, spending a bunch of money on stuff and taking pictures of it doesn't make you anything except a person that bought a bunch of stuff and took pictures of it. I'm doing videos of stuff and showing it to you, and you can think of what you want about that, but it's more than saying something. So demoed it on the big, you know, the big super shakers, showed it, you know, why it was doing that, touched nothing, unplugged it, turned the volume down a little, put in the EX800 STs, turned it back on, you know, put it almost in my ears to confirm what it was doing, what it did yesterday, and then I'm all done with that. It's number 1. I damaged my ears, man. If they make something more nuts, I don't think I'm ever gonna know, because I'm not interested in losing my hearing. And I'm a bass head, man, and that was too much for me yesterday. These give me the air pressure will, you know, do little farts. It'll come out of the edge, because there's so much air coming because of the 2 ports inside here that are directly to a chamber, and this 55 milliliter subwoofer. These got nothing. These are in your ear, and they're blasting in your ear. It's like the opposite of an earplug. It's a screaming speaker. It's like a torture device, to be honest with you, the way that I used it last night. So really stupid shit. I did really, really dumb shit, and I ain't gonna do it again. Can't imagine something hitting harder. Just can't.